Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so today we are going to start with the second unit, that is getting know your data. So in first unit we have seen the introduction of data mining. Okay, and then in this unit we are going to see what is data exactly, and whenever you perform data mining on data, the very first step is you should have good knowledge about the data on which you are performing data mining. Why this is important? Because you should see what attributes are there, what values are there, is there any noise present in the data, um, is the data is generated from multiple resources, then you should bring that data into some uniform format. So this all are parameters that you will get to know when you see your data, when you get some knowledge about your data, when you study the data, right? And this is what we are going to see in this second unit, how to know your data and why knowing your data is important. Okay, in this unit we are going to cover these topics: data objects and attribute types, then statistical description of data, then data visualization, data similarity and dissimilarity. Okay, these are the topics that we are going to cover. Okay, so this you can say the entire graph or diagram that we are going to cover in this unit, like how to understand your data. So there are four basic or four main points topics given in this particular unit. So first we are going to see the attribute types, then we will see different statistical measures to see how your data is distributed. Then we will see how to visualize the data, and then lastly we are going to see the proximity measures. In that we'll see similarity and dissimilarity between the data. Okay, now see, data mining is a process that involves extracting useful information from large data set. But before you dive into data mining, before you perform any data mining process on the data, it is very crucial to prepare the data by understanding its attributes and values. This is very crucial process, that you should know about your data and you should understand what attributes are there in your data and what values that data contain. Okay, and this step is essential because real world data is often noisy, voluminous, and originated from diverse sources. Right? That is what I told you. Whenever we have any data, and when you are going to perform any data mining on that particular data, you should see that data, because that you don't know from where that data is generated, right? So that data may contain noise, that data may contain some errors, data may be in different formats. So before performing any action, you should see the data, you should understand your data. So this step is very much important. Okay, shall we start with the next topic? Yes.
What, ma'am?
Okay, let's move further.
Right. Okay.
So first we'll try to understand what is data object and what is attribute. Okay, so basically whenever you get any data set, okay, whenever you get any data set, so data sets are made up of data objects. Data set is made up of Data object. So what is data object? Data object represent an entity and is described by attributes. For example, you can say uh, if you have some sales data. So in that uh, sales sales data, every product is nothing but the entity, right? In sales data, every product is nothing but the entity or your data. Sorry, I have written project by mistake. So in your sales data, you will have products. So product is what? Product is nothing but the entity, or product is what? Your data object. Object of your sales data is product. Okay, and how that product is described? Yes, can you tell how that product is described? It is described by attributes. So what attributes these products can have? Can anyone tell? Yes, try to answer. It is not like you should be always correct, but please try to answer. For product entity, what attributes we can have? Yes,
Ma'am, I don't understand the question.
see, in our sales is our database. In sales database, product
Yes,
is
ma'am.
our one data object, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now data objects
Yes.
are described by attributes. So if you have product in your
Okay.
data set, what attributes that product can have?
Ma'am, sales.
For product, what attributes we can have?
For product, ma'am, uh, a data object
Data
is
set.
its attribute.
Yes. Anyone else? Anybody else? See, when you attend the lecture, you should be attentive. It's not like कि start कर दिया और हो गया. You should listen it carefully. You should try to understand, and you should try to give the answers. Then only I will get to know that you are listening and you are getting the things. Otherwise, there is no use of this lecture if you are not answering, if you are not trying to understand. Yes, Jay, Sarita, Aman, six people are there. No one is answering.
Ma'am, I told it for product, its
Hmm?
attribute is data object.
Okay, let me give you one example. You will understand. Then you can give me answer for another entity. Okay. So this is our sales data set. In that, product is one entity that can be described by like ID, then product name, product description, price. These can be the attributes of product. These can be the attributes. These are the attributes which will give you more information about your data object. This is called as attribute. Okay, so product is entity
Okay.
and they are described by attribute. So there can be we
Attribute.
can have
Attribute.
multiple examples, like we have taken sales. Let's say we have instead of sales, अगर हमारे पास है data, let's say we have a data of medical or healthcare, some hospital data we are having. Then patient is our data object or entity, right?
Okay.
So this
Entity.
patient
Okay, ma'am.
patient can be
Okay.
described by multiple attributes. Patient is what? Data object.
Yes, ma'am.
Now
Oh,
this
yes,
data
ma'am.
object can be described by again multiple attributes. What attributes this patient can
Attributes.
have?
Patient name, patient ID,
Patient
patient
name,
age.
ID, age, right? Then his medical
Yes, ma'am.
history or some disease if he is having.
Ye-
This can be the
Yes,
attributes
ma'am.
which is describing your data object.
Yes, ma'am.
Like in university we have students. So university is a
Yes,
database. In that student is our,
and
what is
data
student?
object.
Data object or
Yes, ma'am.
entity. And this student can be described by multiple attributes like just a name,
Attributes,
roll number,
ID, home,
then class, division,
residence address.
etc. Right? Got it? So in any data set, that data set is made up of data object, and this data object represents an entity, and that entity is described by attributes. Okay, these objects can also be referred as samples, examples, instances, points, or simply objects. So this data object has multiple names. It can be referred as samples, examples, instances, data points, or simply objects. Okay. When we store these data objects in database, they are often called as tuples. When we store these data objects in database, we call them as a tuples. Okay. So this tuple has rows and columns. Getting it? When you store data object in a database, we call them as a tuple. Okay, so this tuple has rows and columns. So what is there in rows? Yes,
Record, ma'am.
in
Records.
rows we have values, and
Value. Yes, ma'am.
in column we have attributes, right? So every tuple will have row and column. So for this, if we consider for patient, so this name, ID, age, and disease, these are attributes, and they will have some value. So this attribute along with its value is collectively called as a tuple. Got it? In dataset we have data object, and data object are called as tuple. And every tuple will have row and column, where rows will correspond to values and column will correspond to attributes. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let us move forward. Let us come to an attribute. Okay. So in these three examples we have seen, so various entities or various data objects will be having different attributes, right? Just say in sales, product will have different attribute, ID, name, description, price. In medical, patient will have different attributes. In university, student will have different attributes. Okay. So what is attribute? Attribute is a data field that represent characteristics or feature of data object. What is attribute? Attribute will represent characteristic or feature of your data object. Okay. This term attribute is used, it is again having various names like attribute, then dimension, feature, variable. Okay, so these all are one and the same. Getting it? This dimension is the word used in data warehousing. Feature is the word for attribute which is used in machine learning. In statistic in statistics we use variable term for attribute. Okay, all these are one and the same. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So here attribute is describing, one more example I have given here. Attribute describing a customer object might include customer ID, name and address. Okay, so total 4 examples we have seen. Have you understood what is data object and what is attribute? I hope you understood this concept. Let us move further. Now next we'll see types of attributes. Okay, so we have different types of attributes. So basically we have 4 types: nominal, binary, ordinal and numeric. Okay, now we will see them one by one. First we'll see nominal attributes. Okay, so what are these nominal attributes? Nominal means relating to names. What is meaning of nominal word? Relating to names.
To names.
So nominal attributes are also known as categorical attribute, which represent categories or states without any intrinsic ordering. Okay, so the values for nominal attribute are symbol or name of the things. These values will not have any meaningful order. From example, you will understand the concept of nominal attribute. See here the example: hair color. So what values these hair colors will have? Black, brown, blonde, etc. Right? So these are called as nominal attributes. This hair color is what? Nominal attribute, because it will have value like some labels or some category, some name. It doesn't have any number, it doesn't have any numerical significance. Just like that, one more example is given, that is marital status. What is this? This marital status is one attribute. This can have values like single, married, divorced, widow. These are the possible values for marital status. Okay, so if you observe these values, see, you cannot see his or her hair color is 1 or 2 or 3. Can you say? No, but you can say hair color is black, hair color is brown, hair color is blonde, right? So these attribute hair color, here hair color is what? Attribute. Marital status is what? Attribute. And what possible values they have? They are given in the bracket. Okay, so these type of attributes are called as nominal attribute, where they are the name of the things, right? They can be some code or category or some name. That is why they are also called as categorical attributes. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So even though we'll see some more points about nominal attribute. So even though nominal values can sometimes be presented by numbers, sometimes they can be presented by numbers. Like we can assign 0 for black, 1 for brown, but these numbers doesn't have any value. They doesn't have any quantitative relationship or quantitative value. Okay, sometimes as per requirement we may give numbers to these categorical attribute. Please be audible, Aman. Sometimes as per requirement we may assign value to these variables, but those values will not have any quantitative relationship, or this value will not have any numerical significance. That means we cannot perform addition, subtraction, or we cannot find average of this number, even if we give some numbers to it. Like if we are representing black with 0, brown with 1 and blonde with 2, we cannot perform addition, because if we do 0 plus 1 equal to 1, it will not have any numerical significance. Okay, just according to requirement we are giving some numbers to it. Those numbers will not have numerical significance. Okay, Now that is why we cannot calculate average, we cannot calculate mean or median for nominal attributes. Okay, so how the central tendency can be measured? The central tendency of nominal attributes can be measured using mode. Okay, so what is mode? Mode represent most frequently occurring value. So for nominal attributes we can calculate mode, we cannot calculate median or average or mean. Okay, now where these nominal attributes are widely used in data mining? They are used in classification tasks. Okay, in in previous unit we have seen what is classification. So basically in classification we predict the labels. So when we have to predict the labels, there must be some labels present, and those labels are nothing but the nominal attributes. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you give some more examples of nominal attributes? Like I have given you here hair, color, and marital status. Can you give me some more examples of nominal attributes? Very simple. I'm asking very general examples that you use in real life. Yes, try to answer. Yes, please.
Ma'am, like gender, we can take it like a gender, male or female.
Right? We can take gender, male, female. This can be the nominal attribute, right? Or like hair color, you can take eye color. Even country can be
Skin color, ma'am.
sorry,
Skin color also can be taken.
which color? Skin color.
Skin color, ma'am. Skin color.
Oh, skin color can be taken. Even country can be your nominal attribute like India, USA, UK.
जैसे मैम कोई बैंक बैंक के लिए
Like
जैसे मैं यूनियन बैंक स्टेट बैंक अदरवाइज बैंक
okay, anything, right? Instead of a particular bank, you can take categories as a state level bank, right? Some district level banks are there, some national banks are there, some international banks are there. These can be the categories. Understood what is nominal attribute? Is there any doubt in this?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, let's move further. Next type of attribute we are going to see is binary attribute. Okay, so as its name suggests, binary attribute, it is a type of nominal attribute. Okay, please keep in mind, binary attribute is a nominal attribute, but it will have only two categories, right? जैसे हमने nominal attribute में देखा, it will be having multiple categories, it will have set of discrete categories. But when any nominal attribute is having only two categories, like here gender, male and female, it becomes binary. Okay, so binary attribute in data mining is nominal attribute that can take only two categories or states, and they are typically 0 and 1, where 0 signifies absence or false value and 1 signifies presence or true value. Okay, so binary attributes will have exactly two possible states or category. So here some examples are given. Smoker attribute, 1 indicate that patient smokes, 0 indicate that patient does not smoke. Or some medical test, that medical test will have only two values, either positive or negative. Okay, so such binary attributes are very important in data mining um, for tasks such as classification and association rule mining. Okay, can you give some examples, some more examples of binary attributes?
मैम जैसे कोई गेम अगर जीतते हैं तो ट्रू है,
Right,
हार गए तो फॉल्स।
you can say game result, right? Win
यस मैम।
and lose. These can be the two states. Very good. Yes, anyone else? Yes,
लाइक
gender.
वोटिंग अंडर 18 तो फॉल्स, जीरो, और अपर 18 तो फिर ट्रू
Okay,
1।
voting age we can say greater than 18, less than 18. Okay, gender, if you take only two values, male and female, then it can be binary attribute. Understood? It is very simple. It's
यस मैम।
nominal with two states. Okay, let us move further. Next, we have ordinal attribute. Okay, now see, ordinal attribute is a type of attribute where values have meaningful order. Okay, here also you will see attributes will have some labels, just like nominal. Here also we will have labels, we will not have any numeric value, but the order in which these attribute values are represented, that order is important. Okay, so for example, drink size, small, medium, large, these are also, if you see, these are also labels, but this order matters. You are see, if you take hair color can be black, brown, gray. Okay, now same hair color, if you represent like gray, black, brown, it will not make any difference if you represent this in any order, right? But if you see these ordinal attributes, in ordinal attribute, these values will have a meaningful order, or there is a ranking among them, right? One more example given here is customer satisfaction. Okay, many times we give feedback when we purchase anything on Amazon or any online shopping website. So in that feedback, there are multiple satisfaction levels are given, like very dissatisfied, somewhat dissatisfied, neutral, satisfied, or very satisfied. So these every value will have a order, meaningful order. Like we know small is less than medium, medium is less than large. So there is a order present. Getting the point? Even if the
यस मैम।
exact difference in magnitude between value is not known, like we don't know small is how much small than medium, or medium is how much small than large, but we definitely know that small is less than medium and medium is less than large, right? We know there is an order, but we don't know how much larger the large drink is as compared to small one. Okay, so why I'm saying this, that we don't know how much larger, how much smaller, because again we cannot calculate, we cannot perform any calculations. Even if order is present, we cannot perform any calculation on these ordinal attribute, right? We cannot say small plus small is equal to large. Getting my point? We cannot say small plus small is equal to large. We can only say small is less than medium, or small is less than large. Okay, so such type of variables. One more concept is here, that is qualitative. The variables on which we cannot perform any arithmetic operations, or the attributes which does not have any numerical significance, are called as qualitative values or qualitative data. Okay, so nominal and ordinal, both the attributes are qualitative attributes. Understood?
नहीं मैम, एक बार फिर से बताइए, एक एग्जांपल के थ्रू कोई।
What did you say? I'm not getting.
मैम
आप बताइए।
क्वालिटेटिव
हाँ,
मीनिंग मैम।
क्वालिटेटिव का मीनिंग वापस बताना है। ओके ओके,
यस मैम।
ठीक है। सो ऑर्डिनल आपको समझ में आया? व्हाट इज ऑर्डिनल?
यस मैम।
So basically try to understand difference between nominal and ordinal. Okay, because in both the things we have classes, but nominal will not have any order, whereas ordinal, you can remember, ordinal will have order. Okay, now this nominal and ordinal, both the attributes are qualitative attributes. Okay, now what is meaning of qualitative is, first, you cannot do arithmetic operations.
ओके मैम।
Arithmetic operations means you cannot perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, division on it, or it will not give you any valuable result. Like I have given you example, you cannot say small plus small is equal to large. There is no meaning of adding two small. You can only say small is less than medium, medium is less than large, or small is less than medium and large. That is the only order you know, right? Which is fixed. So qualitative attributes are the attributes on which you cannot perform arithmetic operation, and they do not have any numerical significance. Do not have numerical significance. Got it?
यस मैम।
So in this case, these nominal and ordinal attributes both represent this qualitative feature. Both are qualitative attributes. Okay? Now where these ordinal attributes are used, these ordinal attributes are used in surveys. Like I told you, many times you see these attributes when you are giving feedback. Like even after end of meeting, Google asked me how was your experience, right? Even if you do some WhatsApp call, and when you disconnect the call, WhatsApp will ask you how was the voice quality, or how was your experience. So such ordinal attributes are used in surveys for subjective assessments or rating. Okay, now next type of attribute we are going to see is numeric attribute. Okay, so this numeric attribute is different than all the other attributes. Like we have seen three attributes: nominal, binary and ordinal. Those all three attributes are qualitative attributes, whereas if you see numeric attribute, it is quantitative attribute. Okay, so what is quantitative attribute? It represents measurable quantities using integer or real values. Okay, now we came to some numbers. These are the numbers, these are the integers or real values, and they are called as numeric attributes. Okay, so these numeric attributes are subdivided into two attributes. First is interval scaled attribute, another is ratio scaled attribute. Okay, now we'll see first interval scale attribute. Okay, this is a type of numeric attribute. Okay, so these interval scale attributes are type of numeric attribute that allows for the measurement of quantity, where if you perform any arithmetic operation on it, that arithmetic operation will be meaningful. Means if you add two numeric attribute, the value that you will get will be some meaningful value. Just a second. Okay, so what is this interval scale attribute? These are type of numeric attributes. They are measured on a scale or some equal sized unit. Why they are called as interval scale attribute is because we can subtract them, we can find out difference between those values, and that difference will be meaningful. They can include positive, zero, negative values. Okay, example of interval scale attributes are temperature. So temperature in Celsius and Fahrenheit, you can see here 20 degrees Celsius is 5 degrees higher than 15 degrees Celsius, right? So this is having some numeric value, right? And if you subtract 15 from 20, you will get 5. So you can say 20 degree is greater, 5 degrees greater than 15, or 15 degree is 5 degrees lesser than 20. Okay, or if you see calendar dates, so difference between 2002 and 2010 is 8 years. Getting it? So
Yes, ma'am.
basically, in numeric attribute, interval scale attributes are measured in equal sized units. I hope you understood. If it is not clear, please ask. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Clear.
Because when you say, see, there is some interval is present. There is a equal difference present between two values. You can perform arithmetic operation on it because they are true numbers, right? Like our numbers. Okay, but we are using those numbers to measure something. Okay, now one more thing about interval scale attributes is they do not have true 0 point. Okay, so now what is meaning of this true 0 point? See, for example, 0 degree Celsius does not mean the absence of temperature. What this 0 degree Celsius mean? 0 degree Celsius means the temperature is very less.
Yes,
Getting the
ma'am.
point? It does not
Yes, ma'am.
mean that temperature is not present. When we say the temperature is 35 degrees Celsius, that is very high temperature. Okay. When we say 0 degrees Celsius, that means it is low temperature. Even that temperature can be minus 5 degrees Celsius. It is very low temperature, we can say, right? So these interval scale attributes will not have true 0 point. Okay, now on this interval scale attributes you can find mean, median and mode. Okay, जो previous attributes हमने देखे थे like nominal and ordinal, on that we can only calculate mode, but on numeric attributes you can calculate mean, median, mode. Okay, how to calculate that we'll see further, but for now you just understand that on numerical attributes we can calculate mean, median and mode. Okay, now next attribute we'll see is ratio scaled attribute. Okay, Now these ratio scale attributes will have 0 point. So here 0 means nothing. In ratio scale attributes 0 means nothing. Okay. So it enables us to compute ratio between the values. Okay. They are ordered and differences between those values are meaningful. Okay, like we count the values years of experience. So years of experience can be 10, 20. Okay, so 10 is 20 is 2 times more than 10, and when we say years of experience is 0, that means no experience, right? Number of words in some sentence. So number of words we can count, and 0 number of words means there is no word. Getting it? Try to understand the difference between interval scale and ratio scale. Okay, so some more examples of ratio scale attributes are weight, height, latitude, longitude, and monetary quantities like rupees. Okay, so these ratio scale attributes have true 0 points, where 0 indicate absence of that attributes that is being measured. And for these attributes also you can calculate mean, median, and mode. Got it? Okay. Now can you give me
Yes, ma'am.
some more examples of interval scale attributes? Yes. Try to think.
मैम जैसे किसी की एज 0 नहीं हो सकती।
No, it's not like that.
नहीं।
Age is a ratio scale attribute. Age can be 0. If you are not born, that means your age is 0. 0 here meaning absence. So age can be ratio scale. It cannot be interval scale.
यस मैम।
So I want some examples like temperature and calendar dates. Can you give me example of interval scale? More examples.
ऑफिस टाइम मैम मॉर्निंग
Yes.
9 AM to
Okay. Yes. Very good. Time interval. Time interval can be the example of interval scale because it does not have true 0 point. When we say 0, 0, that means it may be 12 a.m.
यस मैम।
So there is no true 0 point or 0. We cannot say is is the only start of time. Okay, so no true 0 point is there.
ओके मैम।
और एग्जाम्पल कोई दे सकता है? याद आ रहा है आपको कुछ?
मैम स्पीड
स्पीड
जैसे
स्पीड
एक
कैन बी 0.
निर्धारित
स्पीड तो 0 हो सकता है.
निर्धारित यस मैम। हाँ
हाँ, so how it can be
वो
मैम
0?
जैसे कोई रेस मैम जैसे कोई रेस 100 मीटर 200 मीटर 500 मीटर।
Distance you mean?
यस मैम।
No, it can also have 0 value. Okay, fine. Now, can you give me some more examples of ratio scaled attributes? This can be, yes, many
यस मैम।
examples I have given here. Can you give some more? Like someone said age. Age can be the
एज
ratio
मैम।
scaled attribute.
यस मैम।
Then
ma'am, length, money, ma'am, length, money,
Money and
Rent, ma'am.
rent. Okay.
Yes.
Or
ma'am,
hmm,
mass can be also,
marks. Very good. Here you can take distance, speed.
Yes, ma'am.
You can take duration. These are some examples of ratio scaled attributes. Have you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Now
Yes, ma'am.
can you give few examples of ordinal attributes? I forgot to ask you about ordinal attributes. Can you give few more examples of ordinal attributes where order is exist in the value? I have given here two examples: drink size and customer
Yes, ma'am.
satisfaction. I will give you one more example:
जैसे
grade.
कोई मैम एग्जाम पेपर जैसे इजी मॉडरेट हार्ड.
Difficulty level, will say difficulty
Yes,
level. It can be easy, moderate, and
hard.
high. Or grade like B, A plus, C. Some order exists. Yes, anyone else want to give some example of ordinal attribute? Okay, fine. So today we have seen types of attributes. Okay, so we'll just summarize these types of attributes. How many types of attributes we have seen?
Four type, ma'am.
Four types. First type is
Nominal,
Nominal
nominal
attribute.
attribute. Second,
binary, third,
binary attribute. Third,
Ordinal.
ordinal attribute.
Ordinal.
And four,
Numeric
numeric,
attribute.
numeric attribute. In numeric attribute, we have two subtypes. First is
interval, or
interval
second,
scaled,
ratio scale.
and second is ratio scaled attribute. Okay.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
So today we'll stop.
Yes, ma'am.
We will continue in the next lecture. Just wait. I need to take a screenshot and
Okay, ma'am.
then we will leave. Okay, someone was asking here what is intrinsic ordering.
Yes, ma'am. हर्षित ने पूछा था.
Huh. So intrinsic ordering means fixed ordering present in it, like we have in ordinal. Understood? Intrinsic is just a word, there is no technical meaning for it. Intrinsic ordering means some fixed ordering is there, like we have in ordinal. We don't have intrinsic ordering in nominal nominal attributes. Got it, Harshit? Okay, I hope it is clear. We'll stop for today. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.